Hey everyone. Say good morning. Say good morning. Yes, Teddy Bear, say good morning. Hi everyone. It's Teddy Bear Show. It's the Teddy Bear Show. Now it's Rita from Miss Rita to the rescue. And here I am today for another episode of Cricut Chat. I'm actually running 2 minutes late. I apologize. I am, why am I running late? Oh, I don't know. It's spring. It's beautiful. I don't know. Good morning. Hi, Matt. Hi, Regina. Good morning, everyone. Tamara, hello. And Annette, good morning. So glad to see you all today. We are going to be working on a beautiful spring card this morning because, boy, we've got spring is abounding here. Finally. Good morning, Bren. Hi, Melissa. Melissa, those flowers are beautiful. Melissa's been collecting flowers as she's been making these flowers and collecting them and showing them off in our group. Hey, before we get started, let me just mention a few things. Because I'm a mom? Yeah, maybe. Although my kid's on vacation this week, so I really can't, really use him as an excuse. But let's see. We are going to be making one of many cards that are available to us through Anna Griffin. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but we're going to do that today. I want to plant some things too, Annette, but I'm so nervous about planting. So nervous about planting anything. I mean, I do well with flowers, but I just don't do well with, like, edible things. I think maybe I tried the wrong things, but I think this year I might focus just on, like, herbs and lettuces because we've got these guinea pigs here, you know, and they love anything leafy, and so do I. my son's like, I'm not gonna go vegan, you know. Oh, Snow. Oh, gee, Paralita. Yeah, I know. We had the same thing on Saturday and Sunday, but I hope this has passed. This too shall pass. Yeah, no, my son's like, I'm not going vegan. And I said, no. You know, he goes, I think those guinea pigs are making us go vegan, which is kind of the truth because they eat a lot of greens. And that's become a little problematic because sometimes the fridge is full of greenery and he's looking for something like meat. He says, meat, I want some, meat. That was last night. Could I have some meat? And I'm like, okay, what kind of meat? So I found some chicken and I made him chicken. But anyway, I'm going off. Anyway, so what I wanted to mention to you is we have a couple of really fun Facebook groups that you might want to consider joining. One is the one that I hang out in most of the time lately. It's called Cricut Chat with Miss Rita, and it's free to join if you're on Facebook, which you probably are if you're watching me, unless you're watching on the replay. It's free to join, and a lot of people have been sharing all of their projects there and things that they've been inspired to make, and I'm just so excited. Hi, Wendy. I'm so excited to see some of the wonderful, wonderful things people are making. Really beautiful. They're trying and they're stretching their creative muscles and trying all kinds of new things, which I love. And so there are some Facebook groups. I also am, if you go to my page, Miss Rita to the Rescue, you'll see I have a number of pages or group pages that I started. I don't run them all. I have admin that runs most of the big ones anyway. And so there's a one that just hit I think 250,000 people. So it's a little bit squishy in there, but you can learn a lot. It's called Cricut Newbies and Pros for Explore and Maker. That's my original group. But if you're using different machines, we have a Just Cricut Joy. We have all kinds of groups, and there's nothing saying that you can't be part of more than one group either. Remember that. And so there you go. So anyway, thank you for sharing, Penny. So what I also want to mention to you is that this is the last few days of getting your name in for our Cricut Joy Bundle of Joy project. It is a brand new Cricut Joy with everything you're going to need just about to get started, including, there's smart vinyl, there's smart iron-on, there's is there infusible ink? Yeah, there's pens, there's a card mat, there's some cards, there's everything you could possibly need or want to get started with your Cricut Joy. So straight out of the box, if you are the winner, you're going to be able to craft right as soon as you get this. And I am going to be giving away a joy every month from now until the fall. And so there's a lot of opportunity to win. So I'd encourage you to put your name in. And I always put the link to where it's going. I'm dropping things like crazy over here. I always put the link to where it's going in the description of the video, but when I do lives, it doesn't show up until after the live has been posted. So if you're watching me live, you have to wait until afterwards and check the description, and then you can find out how to enter. Now, a lot of people who are entering have already been following me for a long time, and that's a prerequisite to enter. You have to follow me on YouTube, and then if you want more entries, you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. But if you already follow me, what I would ask that you do is do what Penny just did, which was share. Share this to folks so that they can see what we do every day. And it's a way to sort of build our audience, which I really love. I love our little audience. We have a wonderful little charming audience. But hey, we could all use more friends, right? Thanks, Bren. Anybody, who's going to turn away a friend? And this is a great group because everybody is friendly and helpful, and there's nothing that is like negative about coming on and being brand new. Because I will tell you, when I first started crafting with the Cricut, I've been crafting forever, so it's not like it was a new thing. But when I first started crafting with the Cricut, I reached out to people that I saw that were kind of leaders. And some of them are not even leaders anymore. But I had reached out, and very few of them were nice to me, which is why I got started with the Facebook groups, because they were kind of like, I'm too busy for you and these questions. And I felt like, you know what? Never too busy for questions, never too busy for people. So I started a group that was back in 2013 with a couple of my friends, and it just sort of took off. And that's how the CEO of Cricut, his name is Ashish Arora, found me and reached out to me and asked me if I would be something called a product expert for Cricut. So if you build it, they will come sort of thing. And I've had such a grand time. So anyway, there is that. Oh, good. Wonderful, Faye. Thank you. I'll have to look for it. Her name is Tennessee. That's a great name. That's awesome. So let me just jump in, and before I jump in, say, if you are new introduce yourself, say hello, because we are very, very welcoming, and we don't ever turn anybody away unless your spammers are kind of creepy, but that's very rare. And we learn from each other. So this is a good opportunity. Plus, the other thing that Susan brings up is it's about positivity. I have a friend that, she said, and she was very honest about it, and it really got me thinking. My friend who said, I'm really struggling with depression today, and don't we all? And last year was pretty tough, and she said, it's enough just for me to get out of bed and make a card. And I have been there, friends. I have had days where I just did not want to do anything. And so what I would do is force myself to sit up, because that was my problem. I like to be laying down. I forced myself to sit up and just craft just for, an hour. And that's kind of how this started, in that I knew that the pandemic was going to keep us all at home wondering what to do. And after a while, it would lead to some, depressive thoughts. So this is our way of sort of getting our day started right. And it's really helped me. I hope it's helped you. So let's see. We're going to be working on Anna Griffin. Now, if you've never heard of Anna Griffin, she is a really lovely woman from I think she's from Georgia. And she's a tiny little thing. I've met her. She's absolutely adorable, tiny. And she's got a really I call it a shabby chic, or kind of like a retro or a vintage kind of a look. She loves flowers. She does a lot with a print and cut, and she's often on one of those, I think it's HSN, or what do they call that? Oh boy, the mailman's truck is very loud today. And so she's often on there, and she designed a bunch of image sets for Cricut. She's from, wait. Oh, sorry. I'm just reading. Oh, hi, Linda. Good morning. So she designed a bunch of image sets. Now she has her own business. She sells things like fabric, and now she has her own machine. But when she started out, she was with Cricut, and now all of her Cricut designs that she created, and there are tons of them, and it's for every holiday. She's got print and cut. She's got pop-ups. She's got these really awesome, this is what we're doing today. It's called a window ledge card. Hey. It's very similar to this one. Thank you. Window frame card. Here it is. It's a window frame card that I did. And it's not exactly like hers, but it's very close. And I want to show you how to do it, where to get these graphics from. I will also give you the graphics. All of her graphics are available to use for if you're a Cricut Access customer, which is really awesome. It wasn't always that way. Hey, you guys, stop it. It's just the postman. They're always protecting me from that postman. And so I want to show you where to find this, how to put it together. This does involve some print and cut. It doesn't have to, but I found working with Anna's projects, print and cut is just a beautiful addition. And I was able to print and cut all of these lovely flowers. See that? Whoops, drop them. These are beautiful flowers, and also sentiment. She has a ton of them. Here's one that we're going to use, this thank you one. So there's a great way to deal with them, and I'm going to show you how to do that today too. So let me go to my canvas so I can show you this particular project. So I got this project. I think I might have gotten it from Projects, and it is basically ledge card. I would have called it maybe a step card because it has a unique fold right here on the side. It kind of makes like almost like a frame. Maybe it was a frame card. I don't know. But you fold it in a certain way, and you use your scoring stylus or your scoring wheel to fold it in a certain way, and it stands up on its own like this. And you would actually mail it like this. And I used a lot of pop dots in there, so I'll show you how I did that. But it doesn't actually close up. You wouldn't close this up because, no, you wouldn't. But I'm going to show you how to fold it because folding is the biggest challenge. The other part of the challenge is picking out the right, sentiments and flowers. And this all this stuff is just sort of extra frivolity. And that's what I love about Anna, is that she really likes to gild the lily, which I do too. And it's almost like the more the merrier with her, right? And so that's kind of fun. So it sort of reminds me of back in the 80s when yeah, they're mailable. But it depends on how many pop dots you use, if you're going to need to have it hand canceled or something like that. But yeah, they're mailable. So, but back in the 80s, we used to say, put on all your jewelry and then, and then look at yourself in the mirror, like kind of turn and look in the mirror and take off one thing. So it was like, overdo it, kind of thing. And so that's what I like about her cards, is that they are like really gilding the lily. So let me show you, I'm going to save this one. I'm going to show you where I found these so that you're not, having to do exactly my design, because maybe these flowers aren't your favorite. And there are all kinds of flowers that you can do. So let us start from scratch. We'll do a new, but I will give you that file, by the way. So we're going to go to images. And if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I love to look in what's called image sets. And these used to be cartridges that they would, Cricut would release, and you would have so many images on this cartridge. But everything's gone digital now, and they now call them image sets. But if you have cartridges, you might have them like from before when you had older machines and stuff. That's been changed to image sets. So we're going to go there by choosing image sets right here. Now, this is great for, especially if you want to look at everything that one designer has. So in this case, the designer is Anna Griffin. So if you put in actually ANNA apostrophe S, I do apostrophe S, you will see that all of her image sets start with Anna. Anna's Winter Wonderland, Anna's Christmas Greetings, Anna's Splendid Soiree. So this is a way that you can see all that she has, and there's a lot, okay? And oh, wait a second. I have to take a second out to say hello to my friend Babs, who's back after surgery. Welcome back, Babs. We missed you. Okay, and so you'll see that there are a number of image sets here, including, there's also fonts, there's just things like vintage butterflies. Oh my gosh, I love butterflies, and so there are vintage butterflies. And so some of these things would make good stickers, and so consider that. Look at this, Sea Life, Animal Kingdom, just roses. Here are things for your planner. And then there are the cards. And within the card image sets, there are also other images. So for example, the one that we're working on today is called a window frame card. Okay. That differs from a ledge card. I'm going to show you that at another time. But this is a window frame card. It's got kind of almost like an easel sort of look to it. And that's where we're going to find this project. So you'll see when you look in this description, there are all kinds of, there's one base card right over here. There's the base. And then you've got, things that you can choose from. So we're going to choose this base, and let's choose a frame. I did this one already. So let's choose this one. And we need the one that will go behind it. Is it not here? Let's try this. This is going to go in front of it. And what do we want it to be? We can have a just for you or a feel better soon. Let's do feel better soon. And you'll see that there are these really lovely flowers. So I'm going to choose some of these flowers. And clearly, you can choose whatever you like. I'm not telling you what you need to choose. I'm just choosing some that I haven't used previously. Oh, this one has a blue flower. Okay, let's choose that. I think I already used this one. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of stuff, and you'll see here that there is some that have like writing, but I'm not going to focus on that today. I wanted to focus on the print and cut. Okay. So I'm going to grab all those things and insert them into my canvas so we can have a look. Now, if you are new, you probably don't know this about me, but I like to make 2 cards at once because I always feel like the first card's practice, and then the second card becomes the one that I send. So I don't find any problem with doing 2 cards at once. So I want to show you what we do when we have 2 cards. And it's just a matter of doubling up. So, okay, here we go. Here's our inside. Now, these come with envelopes. I am not a huge envelope fan, so I am going to remove this, but you guys can keep the envelope if you want. I usually just buy my envelopes. So here we've got, this is the base of the card, and it comes in measuring about 11 inches high and about 5.5 inches wide. The reason why you got that extra length there is the folds. And so when you do end up packaging this for an envelope, you're going to put it in a regular 5x7 inch envelope. It will indeed fit in that space, but you do need the 5x7 inch size. Most of her cards are 5x7. Okay, you guys, I know I have the window open because it's so beautiful out. And of course, they hear all of everything going on. So here is the basic card. And then it's going to be built like this. This little piece is going to be sort of our background piece. And so I would suggest that you cut it out of something fancy or frilly looking, maybe not a solid color as it shows here, but it can't really do patterns in the way that cards are set up. Then you are going to have this frame that's going to go over that. Now, I personally would put a background to the frame. So I have something to glue it to. Now, let me show you how you would do that. We're going to duplicate it. And we're going to go hit contour. Contour's down here on the bottom, very far right bottom, okay? And what I'm going to do is just to create a sort of a background, not with all these cutouts, okay? But I still want the middle cutout. So let's see what I came up with. No, it didn't work. Wait, here it is. There we go. So now when we have it, arrange it to the back, you see the coloring is not going to help us much, but let's just change it to pink so you can see what I'm talking about. So see, when we put it to the back, it becomes a backing for that. And we did that just through contouring. Okay, and then it also has this frame over here, and then we've got Feel Better Soon. We'll probably put that in the middle, so we don't need to resize that. Let's just show you how we're going to build that. And then we have all of these flowers. Now, I always recommend picking more flowers, just like, putting jewelry on in the 80s. Is choose as many flowers as you want. You might have extra. That's fine. Because you'll just cut them out and you'll have them for something else. Okay. So, and once you kind of get hooked on her flowers, you tend to keep them around a lot, and they're good stickers too. So I'm going to cut out all of these. I'm probably not going to use all of them, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 flowers, and also this Feel Better Soon, which is going to be a print then cut. Now, when we were working with stickers, I showed you a technique where you would insert a box so that everything would print on one sheet of sticker paper. We're going to do that same technique, but we're just going to use cardstock, and we're going to use it in our printer. So I want to show you what I mean. First of all, if I went to hit make it, you'll see that not all of our flowers. See, I got on one page, most of them fit, but then I still have this one, and you can't move it. Like you can move images. Like if I wanted to move this, I could move object and move it to someplace else, right? I can't do that with a print then cut. So I need to force the system, sort of like a hack, I guess. I don't like the word hack, but it's sort of a hack. And so let's go back to our canvas again. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert a shape. We're going to insert a square. Now, the largest that the print then cut window is 6.75 by 9.25. So we're going to create a square that does not exceed that amount. We have to unlock it, because if we don't unlock it, by simply pulling it, it will be proportionate, okay? So we're going to unlock it, and we're going to change the width to 6.25, and we'll change the height to 9.25, okay? Now this becomes, I'm going to arrange it to the back, okay? This becomes, it's not something you're going to cut out. It just becomes sort of a visual for you. So what you're going to do is take all of your flowers and sort of kind of just arrange them, including our little thing. We're going to arrange them onto this. Now we can move them and do a circle, like see this little roundy thing? That's how you can sort of rearrange them. And the only thing here is that we want everything to fit in the box, and we don't want them to be touching. Okay, so you can move them around any way you like. They can be upside down if you want, or sideways, whatever way is going to work. And this actually is a lot easier. And if you wanted to, if you figured I can fit one more in, like for instance, this one, I could fit another one in, I could duplicate it and try to fit that in, just because I like a challenge, So here I am trying to fit in this one. Let me just move it this way. All right. Yeah, we're going to do it. All right. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just simply, and it's just kind of like it's a visual thing. And I'm a very visual, person and learner. And so for me, this helps me to sort of make sure that my flowers are the right kind of size, because sometimes these flowers, they come in and they're enormous and you don't realize it until you cut it out and you're like, whoa, this is an enormous flower. So here is what I'm doing. I'm not paying too much attention to what I'm doing because I'm talking, blah, blah, but I am just moving these around so that I can fit them all. And again, I want it to fit within the square, and I want for them not to touch. So this looks like a good idea for me. If I can just let go of it. Okay, let go of it. And this one, let's go here. All right. So I think we've fit them all in. Well, no, this one's not in there. Let's do this. Whoops. It's going kind of kooky today. And again, you'll do it better than me because you won't be like blah, blah, chit-chatting, okay? And so you'll take more time and you'll, do it with more care, but I'm just like blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't matter the box around him. I think I should probably say that. It doesn't matter the box around him, although you can make them a tiny bit smaller, which is what I'm going to do on this one here, just because I want it to fit and I don't want them to touch. Oops. This one's touching. All right, so what I'm going to do then, now these are kind of coming out the edge. I might have to make a slight adjustment, all right? So what I'm going to do is we've got a barky dog outside, and of course, Teddy Bear is barking back. I'm going to move away that box. I don't need it anymore. I'm just going to make sure nothing is touching, all right? That's important because we are actually going to use what's called bleed for this, and we need to be able to have like a little tiny little sort of cushion around each of the images. Okay, so now I have all my images. I took away my box, which I can actually delete. And then I'm going to select this whole thing without moving them, okay? This whole thing. And I am going to hit attach. It's the little thing that looks like a, what is that? A paper clip. Paperclip. All right. So now, once we do that, remember we added a flower, and I look up here, and our width is 6.415. All right. I don't know that that's going to fit. I'm going to try and see if it's going to fit when we hit make it. Teddy Bear, come over here. Oh, yeah. It is. It's going to fit. So now we've got all of our pretty flowers and our sentiment here. They're not touching, and they're all on one sheet of paper. And I'm going to send this to my printer and cut it out. Now, as I mentioned, I like to make 2 of everything. So I would just change my project copies to 2, which I did right up here. And you'll see now I have 2 sheets. Okay, which we'll have to print separate each one. And then the rest of the card, so there's our smaller frame, there's our larger frame. We actually can get 2 actual cards on here, and there's the back of our frame that we created. There's sort of the mat. And so everything is really all set to go. I'm going to hit continue. And the first thing that comes up, it should come up, is your print then cut, because it always like sort of floats to the top, the print then cut. And what you'll see is this green box. It says send to printer. Okay, so if you don't already have a printer attached to your or either on your network or attached to Design Space, this is basically that process, and I'm going to show you how to print it so that they come out lovely. Okay, except that my dog's driving me nuts. Teddy Bear, stop. The 2 of them are sitting there, butts touching and growling at the mailman. So you think every single day they would get used to the mailman, but they don't. Okay, so here it is. I've got 2 sheets that are print then cut, and I've got this green button that says send to printer. Now, from yesterday, you know that I have 4 printers on my network, 2 of which don't work. And so I have my sublimation printer, and then I have my regular printer. My regular printer is this old beat up HP Envy that I got at Walmart on Black Friday for like $50. I mean, and it's still working, so that's what I use. So I'm going to choose my HP Envy, and I'm going to make sure I add bleed this time. I didn't do it yesterday because we were doing sublimation, because I didn't really need bleed. But in this case, I want bleed because I don't want any white space showing around my flowers, okay? But I do want to turn on use system dialog. And when I do that, we're going to go to what you're normally used to looking at when you're printing something, okay? It's just like the printer dialog box right here. See that? Now I work from a Macintosh. You might work from a Windows-based program or something, but they all kind of look the same when it comes down to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose very best quality. This is not the place to do draft quality or even normal quality. So I'm going to do, actually, for my HP, it's called Color Fine. So that's what I'm choosing. And also down here where it says quality, I'm choosing best because I do want them to look really, really pretty. And this is what we have done with our sublimation and also with our stickers. So this should come if you've done this. Okay. So we're going to hit print and it's going to go to our HP printer. Now I have put in my HP printer 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. The cardstock that I use for my printer is from Michaels. It's great. It works out really, really great. But I wanted to tell you that it is cardstock. So we're going to cut it from cardstock. But I wanted to tell you that if you buy this paper in the large pack, it usually comes in a 50-piece pack. Buy it that way. It's like $5, right? For 8.5 by 11. It fits in the printer. It goes through the printer just fine. But if you buy it in the like 250 sheets, thinking that you're going to save yourself some money, though it's extra heavy weight in the large pack, so it won't work. I don't know why Michaels does this. I think somebody should tell them not to do this, but you have to buy the 50 sheet pack, okay? So we're now printing and we're going to allow it to go through printing. And you have an it's newer than you. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so print and cut, it's a great, and I wish I had, wait. Here, this is what you're going to look for, whether you're on Michaels.com or you're buying at the store, you're going to look for this kind of a paper pack. 50 sheets, it's called Recollections, it's the best. It cuts like butter on all the Cricuts. And it's a 65-pound weight. Sometimes it varies. The only color that doesn't really cut very well, I should say there's kind of two colors. The reds and the blacks, they're kind of a little more pulpy, but these are really, really smooth, very buttery, smooth feeling, and they're often on sale. You can often buy ones like, buy one, get two free, or 4 for $10. That's what I tend to do. And 8.5 by 11, it's not 12 by 12, but you tend to use less paper. And this also can be used. This also can be used on your Joy. You're just simply going to cut it this way. Okay. So let's see. Our printout is done. So here's our printout, and you see that it has this black box. All print and cut have this black box. This is called a sensor, and the sensor will read the boxes and then cut out around all of our flowers. It's really quite amazing what it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to through the process of cutting this out. And so I need to get... Sorry, I have to clean off one of my mats. So we're going to put this on the mat like this and put it in the way that it shows up here. So do not turn it upside down. We learned that the hard way, right? But we're going to put it up here with this here up in the top left corner, and then we're going to put it through our machine. Only the Maker or the Explorer family have sensors to do print and cut. Joy does not. Joy never will. Okay. So if you want to do print and cut, then you need to have either a Maker or an Explorer. But otherwise, with Joy, you can do obviously you can use your pen, you can use the cutting feature. It just does not do print and cut because it doesn't have a sensor. So let me go ahead and I'm going to choose a base material of medium cardstock, and I am going to hit the blinking button, which you can't see. Here we go, blinking button. And you will see that at first the machine goes like up and down, side to side, because it's reading. See that little light that comes on? It's reading the sensor marks. It's sort of trying to determine what's the appropriate way to cut this. And so it will do that on all 4 areas, and I don't know how it all works, but it's like magic, and it will just go through and check out the boxes, and then it sort of comes down to the bottom and it sort of stops, like it's thinking, and then it starts to cut out. So you just respect the process, let it go on and do its thing. Like right here, it stops and you think, oh my gosh, what happened? But it takes a second, and then all of a sudden it comes back and it starts cutting everything out. Okay. And we can watch that cutting it out, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to show you how to put this one together. So we'll see that when it comes out. I'm going to move you, and I have all of my materials right here, and I'm going to move you down. All right, so here's what we're going to be doing. It's called a window ledge card. You see how it has it's almost like a frame. I think I would have called this a step card or a frame card. But anyway, it's going to sit like this, open, and you can make it sit a little bit better by creasing here. But it's going to go in your envelope like this, okay? Now you notice that mine's really popping up off of there. That's because I used a lot of these dots. This is a dot. Now, if you don't have these, you want to get yourself some if you want to be a really good card maker, because they are essential, I think, in giving your cards that look, a lift kind of a look. Now, you can buy these anywhere, including the Dollar Tree store. You can buy them at Michael's, Joann's, online. And essentially what they are is just like a little bit of foam that has an adhesive on both sides. And they have these little cutouts. Mine are circular, but you can buy them in squares as well. And so I call them pop dots just because that's what I call them. And you just take these out sort of like this. Now, as you're taking things out, you'll notice that there's some leftover. I use that leftover because, well, I'm a very frugal person. So we're going to use all of this, okay? Yes, it creates dimension, okay? Ooh, guess what? Our cutouts are done. So let me show you what it's going to look like. I'm just going to lift this off. Just like that. And there are all of our pieces. Isn't that great? So we're going to just peel off these. And because it's cardstock, it's really nice and thick. And I got a flower with some blue on it, which I really love. And you'll see just how clear this has gone around and cut out all around those leaves and the outside portion of it. Isn't that great? So let me just take these last ones off. And here's another one that's just really, be careful taking them off because they can be really rather precise. See that? And so pretty. Okay, so let's go back to this card. So this is the main piece of the card, and you're going to use your scoring stylus or your scoring wheel for this. And you'll notice, I don't know if you can notice, but there's scores here and here, and then there's score here. Go back up here. There's one here, here, and then here, here. There is no score like right here or up here. So that's important. So how do you score it? Well, very gently. You're going to score and try not to get the other parts of it. And so this is often just kind of a thing you have to sort of work around. And I tend to fold them both ways so that I can sort of have a more fluid or more flexible card. Okay, so here I am trying to fold on all of those score lines, which are very light because I used my scoring stylus for this. You could use your scoring wheel if you wanted to, if you had one, but eventually you have to use something called a bone folder or a scoring implement of some sort. So I tend to use like something like this, or I do have a bone folder which is around here somewhere, but I tend to use just kind of this. And then once I can sort of establish that fold, this is the tricky part. So don't beat yourself up, okay? If this is hard for you, because it's hard for me, and I've been doing these for a long time. It's just, it's kind of an awkward place that those folds are, and we're just trying to establish them, and then we'll come back and sort of make them nice and strict, okay? Strict, nice and crisp, okay? So here's what happens. This is where you get the fold from. So if you think of it like a mountain, this is a mountain fold, and then it goes into a valley fold. Okay, so at the very bottom, where you'll have like almost like an upside down T, these two sides peak as a mountain, and then they come down as a valley, just like that, creating a ledge. Okay, we'll come back and we'll use that thing. And then it folds up here with this at the top. So you see it's almost like two peaks right here and right here. Okay, and that's the way that the card is actually going to be for you. All right, and you can, if you want, you can do this. This will make your card look crisper. I often will do this just with my fingers, and then sometimes I will fold it the other way, just so I can have a nice crisp fold, okay? So there we go. That's your card. That's the basic card, okay? Now we have all of the fun stuff, which is, we have this little piece. This is our starter piece, sort of like the mat. So I cut this out. This is Anna Griffin paper. I don't know where I got it from, but I've had it for a while. And that's going to go on there. Then we have our frame, which I cut out from, this is also Anna Griffin paper, but then this is just plain Cricut cardstock. Right? So we're going to glue these two pieces together, and then that's going to go there. Then we'll do our Feel Better Soon. That will go here. And then we can put this on here just to sort of as a place to attach the flowers. And then we can choose whatever flowers we want to decorate this. Whoop! Of course Rita is so clumsy, but you know what we're going to do, and we're going to use those pop dots, so it's really going to pop off of the page. So this is no flat cards. We're not going for flat cards. Now, I have a lot of flowers here, so I can choose whichever ones I want. I'm going to probably put, what did I do for this one? I think I put two up in, yeah, I put two here in the corner, one here and there, but then I also had this down here on the left. If I didn't put that there, I wanted to put it here, then I could probably do that. So, we'll think about that when it goes along. So let's first start with the actual card base and this part, the mat. And we're going to put a little tiny bit of glue. Hey, you guys, some of you that follow my page, did you see that this is the glue that I use, Barely Art Precision Craft glue. And, I posted that they had some SVGs on there. And there was one for a card that we have to do. It was like I forget what kind of card it's called. I think it's called an iris card, but it has like a spinning wheel on there so you can change what it says. The card, remember those cards from like the 70s? They were just really cute. Okay, so there's our base. Then we're going to take these two pieces. We're going to have to glue these together. Did I glue them? Yeah, I did. I glued them together. So be careful when you're using the glue. You're just using a little bit. You don't want a whole lot, okay? And so you kind of have to learn how to press on your bottle so that it's just like a bead of glue or just little dots. And I'm rushing, but you'll do it much more carefully. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it really, the glue, I say the glue doesn't matter, but, you know, glue that you have. And if you placed an order for Barely Art and it hasn't come yet, use whatever you have. Just, don't use a lot of it. Okay. So here is our frame, and I'm going to put this on here. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to start using my pop dots. The only thing you have to be careful about here is that this frame is bigger than the background, okay? So you're going to want to put those pop dots so that they, especially on the top, so that they fit. So what I would suggest is that you put them on the bottom and the sides first and then come back and put them in. So here's the bottom. And that's what, now if you have smaller pop dots, you could certainly put them on the top. You could very carefully sort of put them there. It's up to you. And I do kind of go a little crazy with the pop dots. So if you don't like them, you don't have to use them. But I'm putting them close to the edge here. Okay. So once you put them on, see what I did was I peeled off one side so it would stick. Then the other side, you have to peel that off. And then you have like a sticky dot. That's why I call them pop dots, I guess. And they also pop. They make your project pop. Okay. So let's take our card. And we are going to then place the frame right here so it's even. Press down where those dots are. Now you see how it's not popping up here, but I want for it to not show. I actually rushed and it was showing, so I had to peel it off and do it again because that's what happens when you rush. Okay, so I'm going to take actually these little pieces, cut them off, and use them for the top piece because I want for them not to show. You can also, there's a lot of other things you can do. Like they sell this stuff in strips. You could use strips. You know, I'm not telling you you have to use this particular brand or kind. Find what works for you, you know, and find the ones you can find itself, you know. But you don't want for it to show. And there is that one. See the difference? All right. There we go. Starting to look really nice. Getting excited. Okay, let's take our sentiment. Should we pop it out? Sure, we should pop it out. All right, this one we don't have to worry too much about it showing because it's going to go on the middle. Yeah, use whatever you got, you know? Use what you got. It's sort of like my philosophy on life. You do the best you can with what you got. And when you know better and have better, and you can do better, you know. All right, there's our sentiment. Feel better soon. So cute. Whoop, I think I'm slightly off. Let me just move it just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, then the next thing up is this. Now I want to see, did I put... Yep, I did. I put pop dots on this one too. I kind of like it. It's sort of plain, and it sort of, it really highlights that lace. So again, a little more dots here. I'm going to put them in all 4 corners and maybe on the side too. Okay. So I want to find out from you guys, because I have a list a mile long of projects, and I know you all have given me ideas as well. Are these the kinds of projects you want to be seeing? Or do you want to see more like vinyl and infusible ink? Because I struggle between, I love to make cards, and this is just one of my favorite things to do. But sometimes I think, oh, there's really not much to teach you about making a particular card. Like this one, I don't think this had a lot to talk about, but of course I can find anything to talk about. But I just want to see what it is that you guys want, you people. Not just guys, you folks. Look at that. It's starting to look really, really nice. You want to do card making. I like the cards the best myself, but I have to I feel like sometimes I have to, I gotta do a mug. Although I'm loving the mug making, I'll be honest with you. All right, so now we've got all of our flowers, and this is just a matter of deciding which ones I want to put on there. Maybe that is about your recipient. These are, I think, peonies, but there are roses. There are, this is a peony. This looks like also, maybe it's a rose. Now, if you have something like this and you don't like it, which I don't, I'm going to just cut it off. Boop. Just like that. Who needs it? I don't, right? I don't want it sticking out on my project. Oh, but I have the blue one. Let's put this one here with the blue. That will look really cute there, I think. That one's a duplicate of that. Yeah. What do you think? So this is just your eye, whatever you choose. So that one's a duplicate of that. Choose whatever it is that you want. Oh, I like this one. It has the blue on it, but that one also has the blue on it. What do you think of that? All right, let me go with these. And I'm also going to pop dot these. Now, you will have leftover stuff. That's okay. You can have a little basket. That's what I have, like a little leftover basket. I don't know, what do you call it? But all the things that I cut out that maybe I don't use, and that I might be able to use someday. Sometimes I just push them up here on my work surface, but then over time, like, so if I cut out a lot of something like hearts or stickers or whatever, and I think, well, maybe I'll use it on another project. That's what I do. You know what? No, I'm going to use this one. I think that looks cute. Yeah, if I use too many pop dots, it'll have to go in a box. I don't actually know anybody that's sick, but it's going to go in my card box. I have this card box of cards that I make, and that's one of the things when I have 2 cards, because you save one for like kind of display, and the other one I use to send. And if I don't have somebody, for instance, if I'm doing a sympathy card or something like that, if I don't have somebody that I need to send it to, I put it in my card box, and I use my I use that card box as a like sort of my own little card store, which I like. And I have, since I bought my Cricut, my first Cricut back in 2012, I have not purchased, I like out of principle will not purchase cards unless I want to like use a design that I really like. Like sometimes I've seen some really pretty interesting cards that are like pop-ups and stuff like that. And I'll say, oh, okay, I'll buy one of those and keep it so I can use it as an idea. But on principle, I will not buy cards from a card store. It costs so much for them. I'm really having trouble with this area. I think, nope, it's too big. So again, you know, this is entirely up to you. If you want to just put one flower, then just put one flower. I like a lot of flowers. So I'm going to put, you know, one in each corner. And even still, I think it's probably less than what Anna would put on. All right. So there it is. I just can't. All right. So all those pop dots on there. Yes, it's very thick. But imagine if you were in a hospital or, you know, you had somebody that was having a chronic problem. Imagine how that would look on that table. Yeah, you can change it. You can do whatever you want, Deborah. You can do whatever you want. So this one's a thank you card, but this one is a feel better soon card. And there's so many options for this. So let me just go back to, we're almost done. Let's go back to the screen. Let's cancel out of this. And let's go back to the screen so you'll remember how to do this. So remember, this is, you go to images. Then you choose under images, you're going to choose image sets, first column, bottom of the first column. Then you're going to type in Anna. Now, this case, it doesn't, you have to, for some reason, it's been doing this. Okay, image sets. And you're going to type in Anna or Anna's. And here are all of her things. Now, you'll see as you get down to the bottom, there's all kinds of print and cut. Here's what we did today, the window frame cards. But there's also these window ledge cards. I'll show you those in the future. But if you keep going, we did these window box cards before. And so you can choose any of this stuff that's in here. Happy birthday to you, on your special day. Look, so you don't need to just do this congratulations. You don't just need to do a get well soon, well done. And then you can even go further. You could do this as a Christmas card, right? Start cutting it out in silver and gold and red and green. Maybe we'll do that as we get closer to Christmas. And then also as you move down here, you'll see there are more and more images, including all these roses. Maybe you want a pig on yours. So here's a pig. Butterflies are beautiful. And the vintage flowers, and look at vintage birds. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff in here that you can just browse through and pick whatever you like. And so, no, it doesn't have to just be a Feel Better Soon card, but I felt like making a Feel Better Soon card, and look at how different it looks. Isn't that great? So that is our lesson for today. And I thank you all for standing by and, staying with me. I have all these extra flowers that I'm going to save in my little box. Yes, I could put a little vintage bird, or I could put butterflies, whatever you want to do, folks, because it's your craft. It's your card studio, right? All right, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. I'm trying to think what we're doing tomorrow. I think we're doing flowers. I know I said that yesterday, but I think we're doing, what was the flower that I was going to make? Forget what flower I was going to make. Oh, was it a daisy? Yeah, it was a Gerbera daisy. We'll do that tomorrow. Gerbera daisy is tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to be doing something specially for Earth Day. So definitely continue to tune in and we will have a lot of fun. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for staying and have fun. Get some crafting in. You'll feel better. Okay? Take care. Bye.